Hello all, my name is Amit Sinha. Currently, I work as a principal architect with AWS industry product. Work for supply chain and operation, and as you mentioned, 20 years of experience. In past, I've worked for Microsoft, Deloitte, Accenture, cross industry. I've been associated with ISCA for a few years, and happy to help and support. And this is fun, and this is getting more exciting. First thing, supply chain management is CM 101. All of you know we have been learning even for last couple of few decades now. Right product, right quantity, right quality at the minimum possible time. This is a reality that the world we live in has been shaped by supply chain management. And any product, anything, if you look around of you, whatever you see, it has reached to you, product or services, through links in supply chain management. And this is old but not very old concept. Few decades back, when after our industrial revolution and other developments, the processes were still disconnected. And then few visionaries and few companies, and SAP is one of them, I know we are presenting it there too, connected the processes through our ERP, enterprise resource planning, MRP stuff. And the beauty or the innovation was that it connected the processes. Now, all of a sudden, what happened that whatever is happening in procurement is visible to manufacturing, what's happening at the customer side is visible to finance, and it created a connected organization. And then we define the processes. A supply chain management is plan, source, make, and deliver. And then it was further added to other processes, develop at the start, return, and the end. And what this connected chain enabled, it enabled the flow of materials from a supplier to a manufacturing plant, to a distribution center, to a customer, or through the online channel, similar flow. It also managed the flow of the money or the dollar or the euro or whatever currency you are interested in, which moved from the customer to organization to the supplier, and then the information was moving. It worked pretty well, but it had multiple challenges. I'm not going to get into the all of challenges, but few challenges and which organizations and the people across the world have managed through. The first one is the visibility. The supply chain management traditional processes, the ERP solution, it provides a good visibility within the enterprise. As I mentioned, like your customer process is connected to manufacturing, to a warehouse, to a transportation, to a supplier. First thing it lacks is the inter-organization visibility. In a world where organizations are working on their core competence, any organization you take, any big organization or even medium size, they are working with thousands of the suppliers, but not having visibility of those key partners have created a lots of cost increase as well as the inefficient processes. Second thing, it has been creating as the agility. If you see here, it's a connected chain, but customer is at the end of the chain after the deliver. And when you are doing your planning or your development, you are too far from the customers, or also the supplier and customer are quite disconnected or far apart. So it does create a problem of the agility, which was tested during the pandemic era, as where we started talking about the resilience and how to make sure that we can still control a fast and responsive supply chain, and their part comes with the control. If you don't have the visibility, if it's not agile, control will always be challenged. And how will you manage about that? You will create more inventory, you will create more safety stock, whether in the form of safety inventory or in the form of blocking the manufacturing plant. You may have heard that, okay, this manufacturing plant, the frozen period is 4 weeks to 8 weeks to 12 weeks, because we want to control in an environment which is uncontrollable. And here I would like to do a double click that how we have been doing. Reality is that expert people like you and the people who have been working in this area, they have been managing. So first thing, if you do a double click, you do find inefficient processes across the world. You will find organizations and the people working in supply chain, operations, procurement, They are working with multiple number of local data sheet. And then another problem in the supply chain, which we do teach in the institution, colleges, and also quite used term in industry is the bottleneck. Where is your bottleneck? Where is your bottleneck is in the manufacturing. And one plant can have multiple bottleneck, one manufacturing plant. If you solve one, you will see other, as well as the processes may have bottleneck. Wherever it's manual dependent, wherever is the inefficient, there will be bottleneck. Limited visibility we talked, and what we have done, even if you'll see like textbook of supply chain management, you will see we have created concepts around this. So whenever you are talking about the safety stock, we are talking about like demand variability, supply variability. Why a variability exists? Because I don't know. I don't know if I order 100, will I get 100 or not? If I order to get the material, say on 5th of October, will I get on 5th or on the 15th? And the reason of not knowing is the data is not available. We are still dependent on maybe a phone call confirmation or an email or some orders where I'm not able to dynamically track it. Another example I will take, you must have all heard about the economic order quantity. Suppose I will give you an assignment question that, hey, this is your required quantity, this is the manual ordering cost, and this is the time, what will be your economic order quantity. The big factor in calculating is the manual cost. What if I get it automated through the technology and there is zero manual ordering cost? Your calculation of EOQ will be totally different. Maybe you will find I don't even need. I can order whatever is required. And due to these inefficient processes and the concept which we have been using, we are getting high and low inventory. We have gone through this cycle. When the pandemic hit, nothing was available in empty shelves, and we were struggling, all of us. And right now we talk about the inventories going up, and inventory going up is good for a couple of points, but mostly it's bad. It's blocked your working capital, it slows down the innovation, and it's not good for entire ecosystem because the money is not moving at the rate it should move. And whenever these things happen, we talk about the or in the old era or the current, even the current era, which we are just transmission or moving to a new one. We talk about a lot of standardization, economy of scale, and the reason we do that because our processes supported by the current technologies or the way of doing it always makes sense to do in a mass. And when you do standardization with the disconnected processes, we are able to serve the customer, but not serving in the optimal manner, not understanding what exactly a particular customer need and how I can serve that person. Then you also see the impact on underutilized assets. So we talked about the dependence on the supplier, correct? So you already did your demand, supply, SLOP planning, production optimization. You created a dependent demand for your supplier. The material did not show up. And then the manufacturing plant suffers. This is a tendency, or this is a problem we still see across the world, across all the type of organization. Another thing is the quality issue. And if you have the background in the quality and if you see how it works, suppose I'm at a manufacturing plant, I produce the material. Suppose I'm producing a ball bearing. I produced a lot of 2,000 to 10,000 bearings. What I will do, I'll take 30 to 60 samples. If they are good, I will accept the entire lot. Otherwise, I will reject the entire lot. And this happens at a couple of places. It will happen at the manufacturing place. If you are supplying, say, to an automotive manufacturer, the moment they take the material in their warehouse, they will do the same test and they can also reject it. Even with a 2 to 3% of the rejection, which is pretty high, even with 1%, we are talking like billions of dollars. What if I can use the digital technology to identify the very first time a defective part came? Because the defect comes because of temperature change, the vibration, some situations at the manufacturing floor. If you have that dynamic visibility and control, say through a digital twin, you can control at that moment. So you can solve the quality issue through the technologies. And for what we are seeing right now, and where we are working with a lot of organization and clients at AWS, even in my past role, extensive amount of data being created by different systems, your customer data, your supplier data, but it's difficult to find the insights. Or if you want to do a data-driven decision, it has been difficult. And then again, how we are doing through the laborious manual process. So now comes, okay, these are the stuff what we did. It helped the organization, it has challenges. If I want to, or if we as a group want to take it to the next level, what's the key? And there are two key which I want to share here. First thing, if you see the right side, that technology. We knew about the challenges. You may have heard in your textbook CPFR, collaborative planning, forecasting, and replenishment. It's not a new concept. It's a 20-year-old concept. The problem was that technology was not available. How to do a CPFR if you are only using a ERP technology? And there the promise of the cloud and the data analytics and AI ML comes. So first thing, the new breed of technology, the disruptive topic technology, as we say, the first one is enabled by the cloud. And what happens that now you can get data from across the organization, not only your organization, but your suppliers and your partners, extensive amount of data, and you can automate a lot of processes by usage of AI and ML. So artificial intelligence and machine learning, where there are algorithm which the organizations are already using for forecasting, the clustering, the classification, but now you can automate a lot of them. Robotics, and my colleague and friend Jose will talk a lot about that. So inefficient or the manual cumbersome process. We don't want people to lift big boxes or do the stuff which can injure them. So robotics, in fact, process automation as well as robots usage in the supply chain at the shop floor. Blockchain, additive manufacturing, and all of them may take like multiple hours of discussion. So I'm just naming them. Digital twin, we talk about the manufacturing floor. What if I can train my entire workforce? Or what if at the furnace place where there's a really high temperature, my person or operator does not even have to go. You are looking at the screen, what's happening, the temperature, pressure, and through a closed loop, you are controlling your machine through the digital twin application. Another very promising is edge computing. At the edge, able to get the data and put it back. So there have been cases like a refinery, or where we take the oil, the crude oil, it leaked to the sea and it created extensive amount of damage. What if the first drop of oil went in, there is a sensor which send a message and people are able to take the action, or automated, we are able to take that. And the last one is Gen AI, where now not only we are doing the automation and the control, but we are also creating the new knowledge. We are performing the automation in a way which was not even possible, or we never thought about that. But then the more important part is on the left side of this page is the innovation. If you will use the new technologies with the old processes, which I already mentioned, we have baked in the limitation of the process in the way we are doing. So you have to innovate the processes to do the optimum usage of technologies. You have to work with your partner in a way. I want to create an extended digital enterprise, but what if my partners are not ready to share the data? Not going to happen. So partner level innovation, people level innovation. The way we are moving the new skills are new skills required out of different levels. They are different skills. Very happy to see the great work being done by ISEA, ISCEA, and other organizations in this area, conferences like this. But we have to innovate the skills we are providing or inculcating in our people, and the way we are moving, the way we are creating the connection and the experience for the customer, for the organizations, and for the employee. So it's good. You'll say, okay, got it. But do I have to start from the scratch? There has already been tons of work. So very delighted to share the framework. But before framework, there have been some research on how big is the opportunity. And these are big numbers. So if you see right-hand side, there was a research done by McKinsey, widely huge and widely sought after, and many people refer it, $1 trillion. And I was delighted to see recently they were moved to $3 trillion of cloud opportunities. Then there have been some research done by our team at AWS, and we have seen the clients we have been working on. Once they move to the cloud and technology and process innovation, we are getting like 20% improvement in the quality, 35% cost reduction, or more than 35%. There have been multiple research by Deloitte, Accenture. So about few years back, when I was still in consulting, there was a question, does this thing work? And we were still doing a POC for a blockchain, for a cloud and other. Now it has been proved that yes, this works. And we have to start thinking how you are using these technologies to innovate and transform your organization. And there I wanted to share, talk about this framework. So the framework which you are seeing it here is called Digital Supply Networks, or the DSN. While I was at Deloitte, multiple organizations, multiple industry leaders, in fact, multiple professors, organizations like ISEA too, we collaborated and identified what should be the new way of working with the new technologies. Because we discussed what plan, source, make, deliver, and a connected chain. So the right way to do in the new world to adopt this technology or to rightly usage of this technology is to create a network. What do I mean by a network or a digital supply network? Is always on, always connected network. First, if you see the center of this thing, it's called digital core. Digital core is not a data lake. It's more like enabled by your business case, what exactly you are aiming to solve. Suppose you identified for your organization, there is the opportunity to work with a client, or there is an opportunity to work with the planning. What data I need to first able to define the problem, then to solve it. Either through automation or by using a better optimization, what. And if I take a couple of examples, so when I'm doing a synchronized planning, so you are still doing your demand planning, supply planning, sales and operation planning, working with the suppliers. But while doing my synchronized planning, now if I'm connected with my dynamic fulfillment, so whatever is happening at my warehouses, the transportation, if I'm able to get the data in real time and usage of AI and ML, I'm able to respond. It's always good to have human in the loop, but a lot of this response thing can be automated. If I'm doing a digital development, and while doing the development, I can see is the product I'm developing, will it go with my logistic process? Will it go with my manufacturing process? Or are there some surprises? We talked about the customer in the traditional supply chain, where customer is at the end of the chain. In digital supply network framework, customer is at the center. You are getting the data, and then if you are working with the smart manufacturing principle, where you are using additive manufacturing, agile manufacturing, now economy of scale and economy of scope are not against to each other. You can identify the real or exact demand of a customer. Say we are talking about the skin cream. Based on that skin condition, you can manufacture that material, which can be provided through the omni-channel logistics, or through usage of dynamic fulfillment in a pretty quick manner, and still managing the cost by the transportation and warehouse and logistic optimization. So it's an extensive area. I welcome all of you to get into detail and see how it can help your organization. I can talk about very quickly a couple of examples, like a DSN. It can enable your extended digital enterprise. And there we talk about the end-to-end visibility. Within your organization, where all the processes are not connected, but coming in the real time, through sensor data is coming to cloud, it's coming back, and you are able to take the action. You are looking at your supplier data. If there is a problem, if there's a commit, you are real time, you can see what's my alternate supplier, what's my alternate product. And there you are supporting your concurrent planning. Optimization. Now, again, not a new concept, but with the old computing power, even in my consulting days, you'll say, hey, let's do the weekend optimization, because the optimization process chain will take like 12 hours, sometimes 20 hours. With the power of cloud, we are talking about the minutes. You can optimize across your processes, optimize your manufacturing, logistic, transportation, and then do a dynamic collaboration across your partner. And what you will do, or what we will get, we don't have to pad up with a lot of inventory, and still it has proved that does not predict all the risk and mitigate. But once you have the visibility and control, and if you are using the AI and ML algorithms, you will be able to predict the risk, and then you will also be able to respond to the risk. And who gets benefit? When entire ecosystem gets the benefit. Since we are reducing the cost to the customer goes down, the payment to the supplier and the manufacturing cost, supply cost, everything goes down. So it creates like a virtuous cycle to the entire economy. I also wanted to share something from this plant floor, but what I will do, I'll share this document. And very quickly, if you see right now, it's not that we are going from a stone age to a digital age. There are digital tools. So in the manufacturing, you do have ERP, PLM, MES, but it's like still standalone application. Data is going, but it's not very dynamic. Some organizations, and we are working with many of them, where we are saying convergence of IT and OT, where now ERP and MES is working a lot together. But very soon, what is going to happen again with the cloud and the edge computing, that this border of IT and OT will go. And there you'll see in a secured environment how my manufacturing plants is connected to my planning and my customers. So call of action, wherever you are, student or professional, first learn about technologies, and also don't just use the technologies. Create a business case and see what innovation you require. Solve one problem at a time. Identify a business case where it helps that, okay, here are some dollars. It can be hundreds, thousands, it can be millions of the dollar. And what you need to do. It can be a process change, skills, and most of the time it's always some technologies. Data is very important. Every organizations we have been working with, we see, okay, now there are 5 different ERP systems, data is coming from everywhere. And if I'm aiming to use that data for my business case through usage of technologies, you still have to do some work. But this I consider as an investment in the future. Once you solve this problem, it's always going to create a learning organization. And one thing I learned at Amazon, the right thing to do is the customer focus or the customer obsession. Right hand side, I have put a few books which I have written with the help of a lot of people from industry and education sector too. The first one is digital supply networks. So if you are interested in understanding this model, which I quickly covered in a couple of minutes, there are multiple use cases. There are detail of how the next level of processing needs to work. So have a look at this book. This is translated into different languages and available across the world. The second and third one, if you are from the planning background, and SAP has also moved and transformed. The integrated business planning application now is totally cloud-based and does a lot of cool stuff. So that's another 2 books to check you out, and I think they are getting showcased at this conference. So with that, I think that's part of, in fact, that's all for me. Thank you.